it's time to share my updated crypto portfolio with you guys because I am buying right now. Of course, if you watch yesterday's video, you know exactly why, but it's also really important to understand what you should buy right now because although prices are really cheap, not everything will survive, and you should prevent yourself from throwing money into a pit that never is returning, right? So, welcome. We now have a really good chance at making steady gains with relative low risk altcoins. So like the video if you like the video, subscribe, turn the bell notification on. I won't make this too long. I just want to update you very quickly on this. We went over the market yesterday. We went over the fact why we should buy right now, at least why I am buying right now, how extremely bullish this is, and what a lifetime opportunity this actually is, right? So if you're watching this video and you're one of the people that want to throw negative comments like, oh, the bottom, it's a bear market and you should not buy, then you should not watch in the first place, right? Like the lows are times to be bullish and to buy. If you want to be bearish and sell, okay, you should have done that at the highs. If you missed that chance, don't come whine at me right now, guys. Come on, man. Now we should take the real opportunity right here. So to quickly update the things that I will be adding to my portfolio right now. First off, okay, Bitcoin is going down nicely to in the 70s, but is that something that I feel like I want to buy Bitcoin right now? Look, if you think that the Bitcoin dominance has a lot of room to go up, then it's maybe good to buy Bitcoin, definitely. However, I think that there for the Bitcoin dominance is way more downside than upside potential for the rest of this cycle. So I'm not buying Bitcoin right now. I don't want to, be in Bitcoin season all the time and then right before it turns into alt season, be in Bitcoin. Like we had that chance here and even here on the upside, right? Like, but now, and it feels a little too late for me. So of course I'm buying alts, but we should be a little careful with what alts, or with which alts, because there are a lot of altcoins that went to wrecked city and decided like, you know what, I'm permanently gonna move here, right? Like to the hell pit. Like if you look at certain meme coins, I'm not saying that they cannot bounce really hard, but this is one of the meme coins that I was looking at. And this thing went down with 96.5%. Yeah, I don't want to be there, right? I don't want to be there. And although the rest of the market can go a little lower maybe and go a little sideways or whatever, these high risk speculative scams can easily go down another 80%, if not more. Like, and also we don't need to right now, and that's the beautiful thing about this correction, because the lower it goes, the more room there is for upside, right? You have a target for an altcoin, let's say Ethereum, $10,000, right? Yeah, if you wanted to buy Ethereum when it was 4K, okay, then I can understand that you say like, yeah, you know what, then $10,000, that's a 1.5 or 2.5x. That's not that spectacular. However, now Ethereum is sitting at 2K and it's going to 10K. Then you can already make a 5x on the safest altcoin out there. So the risk reward ratio is getting better and better the lower we go, right? And it's also a fact that you might look at it and be like, Ethereum can never go to 10K, right? At 4K, everybody thought it, right? Now we are lower. And now for some reason, the final goal has been moved as well because of something that happens in the meantime. That doesn't make sense, right? Now, one example, Ethereum is the coin that I'm buying first, right? And again, why? Because you can make a 5x maybe on the safest alt out there, right? That's a good risk reward for me. Can it go down another 30, 40%? Sure, but compared to a potential 5x, that's a good ratio to me. Now, also, Ethereum went from $900 to $4,000 during a Bitcoin season, right? Because if we overlay Ethereum dollar or Ethereum Bitcoin on the Ethereum dollar chart, you can see basically that Ethereum was going up while it was bleeding against Bitcoin. So I think that once Ethereum on the Bitcoin pair turns around, that Ethereum can really surprise us. Therefore, this is my biggest no-brainer so far. And you might feel like, yeah, but fuck Ethereum. Doesn't matter. It's where the money is. I'm not in for the tech. I'm in for the money. And that's what Ethereum is probably going to give you at this point. So this is one coin that I am buying right now. Now, I will go a little very careful with the very conservative altcoins first, and then I will take it, up to the risk curve a little bit, right? And the more I'm going up to the risk curve, the later I will be buying these coins as well, because the market is now showing like, hey, it's time to play on the defense, right? Because altcoins on the Bitcoin pair are going up during this Bitcoin correction. That's fine, but not that much, right? And because Bitcoin is now crapping the bed, altcoins on the dollar pair still go down, right? So you should not be, again, in these extremely risky altcoins. It's just now not the moment for that. And who knows, this is the bottom and you catch it on a low cap and it does 100x. That's fine, right? But you see what happened so far with all these meme coins, all these newer AI coins. It all turns out, if shit hits the fan, we need utility to back something up, right? Otherwise, it just tanks with 95%. Like, that's not what you want. Let's be fair, okay? So Ethereum is definitely the first. If I want to stay a little in the conservative camp, what I'm buying right now is AVAX. AVAX is also a layer one. It also showed like, hey, if the market is bullish, AVAX from the lows, it did a 7.5x, right? That's a good return. However, it just from cycle highs until now went down 68%. Again, I don't want to make it seem like 68% is not a lot. But if you can compare it to that 96% that we saw with some meme coins, if AVAX would have done that, then it would be $2 right now, right? So you have to understand that difference is life-changing huge, right? So therefore, AVAX is a coin with good upside, especially around $20. And and I'm not saying that it can go lower, okay? So keep that disclaimer in mind. Can it all go lower? Yeah, sure. I don't like. Let's not try to time that, right? But it has a lot of room for upside, and it's definitely not wrecking people, right? However, people are wrecked because they refused to be in these kind of coins, right? They rather went into the fart coins and all that, and here we are. So. Disgusting. That's the second one on the conservative side that I would buy right now. Next one is Chainlink. Now, why Chainlink? Again, one, Chainlink, it has a little bit of somewhat of the RWA hype in the first place. Two, it's the most needed altcoin out there, except for Ethereum and all that kind of stuff. But there are no altcoins with utility that are used more than Chainlink, right? There's also not a lot of competition. This is one of the few altcoins that I would say we need this. Do we need a Solana? It's nice, but crypto does fine without a Solana. Also an AVAX, right? We don't need it. Chainlink, we actually need it. So that's definitely something that I will be buying and that I'm going to do after this video, actually, because at the moment I don't have a position in Chainlink yet, and I think it can go lower, but hey, DCA is the way, right? But also, if you look at the Chainlink on its Bitcoin pair, it's finally here again, right? Finally. And this was the moment where I was waiting for weeks, and now it's there. So that's absolutely beautiful to me. Next one that I will be buying is Render. Render showed that when the whole market was going down, Render was actually going up. And when the market was going up, Render was actually outperforming really hard, right? Here the market was kind of going, down-ish, right? Sideways down. And Render in the meantime went from 27 cents to like $3 or so. So it did 10x. It was a huge outperformer. Then when the rest of the market started to run from, let's say, 100 billion to 400 billion, right? Render did a casual another 10x from when $1.13 to $13, right? So this has always been the outperformer, and also the least underperforming coin. Even though it had such a huge run up, you would say like after such a run up, it has a harder crash, right? But render actually went down with 73%. Right? Again, it's not a lot, but or it's not a lot, right? But there are coins like, dude, oh, they wrecked, right? They wrecked. Right? Therefore, being in coins that are strong on their Bitcoin pair is key in crypto right now. And another two more conservative plays that I will feel like, okay, they won't wreck you that hard, but they have good upside. One is Tau. Tau is actually really strong, given the fact that most altcoins are sitting close to all-time lows, or at least cycle lows. And yeah, if you look at Tau, it still has like 50% to go to get there, right? And also, if you go just back to the cycle high, yeah, that's a 2.5x from here already. And that's just the cycle non-alt season high, right? So that's great. And another one is Near, actually. Also, don't have a position in Near yet, but Near is looking beautiful. This is the L1/AI play, which is relative safe, actually. If you look at Near on the dollar pair, yeah, you can see that it's sitting at huge support right now at around $2.63, give or take. This is a coin that I will be straightly buying today. This is looking beautiful. Again, it can go lower, sure, but this is already looking beautiful. But also for Near to go back to its cycle high, it's already a 3x with a relative low risk altcoin, pulling off a 3x from these prices to just go back to the non-alt season high. That's really good, right? And I say non-alt season because if you overlay the alt season chart, basically, yeah, you can see like it was just straightly going down, right? Instead of going up. So once we get that, and Bitcoin maybe even recovers a little bit, yeah, then this is the first target. So these are my more conservative plays. Like if you want to be in crypto, but you don't want to be in Bitcoin because you feel like, yeah, altcoins will outperform, but you also don't want to be in the too risky shit, I would look at this. And there are definitely more like, why not this? Why not this? Because I just don't, right? You cannot buy anything or everything. Then there is one ladder up the risk curve. And these are coins that have proven that they will do well, but there's just a little less demand for it. They fall a little harder maybe. They will mostly run when the time is right, but they're not the low cap kind of stuff, right? So they have a little more upside as well. First one is RXO. RXO is far from the cycle high, right? It has a 6.5x to go, right? This is getting really cheap at 8 cents right now, in my opinion. The next one is Aerodrome, the DEX on base. Now, the Solana had its moment. The moment is probably going to go back to ETH, right? And ETH is now very cheap because nobody uses it now. But in the bull market, we also know that ETH is unaffordable and not so fast. And therefore, we have these layer 2s on Ethereum, which solve that. Base is basically, no pun intended, the speed and costs of Solana on Ethereum, right? That's what Base is. And Aerodrome is a leading DEX on Base. So that's a good way to have some exposure. And going back to the cycle high, 4x, easy, right? I do think that Altora belongs in this list as well. I think that Altora is now getting towards prices that I feel like, hey, it's worth it again, right? But it went all the way to 18 cents like this cycle. It's now sitting at 4. It's 3x to go from this point. 4. So that's looking fantastic. I think Beam as well. Beam less than a cent, like crazy, man. They were Merit Circle, and there they were pretty cheap. Then they rebranded to Beam, had a huge run, outperformed a lot of projects, right? People say gaming is dead, but if you look at Beam, if you look at Super, right? It depends on what projects you are in, right? Now, Beam is showing the McDonald's pattern, like, to be fair. I do think that Beam is a fantastic buy if you want to have altcoins that are not too risky and also not too conservative. If you look at Beam and it can go back to its previous all-time high, that's a 5x from this point. And that's also a little bit how I look at this market. Can I make a 5x to buy a risky coin if it goes back to its all-time high? Okay, fine. But I can do that also with Beam. Hey, that's lower risk. Let's go with Beam. Like, that's how I pick my coins right now. I think that some meme coins will have their moments again, but I am not daring to call it. If you look at Brad, for example, also wrecked really pretty hard, and I think that Brad is a meme coin to stay, but I'm not convinced enough about that to buy this. So I don't mind missing out on some things, right? Like, it doesn't matter to me. ChainGPT definitely belongs there, right? ChainGPT is like this thing has been killing it, man. This has been such an outperformer, like this whole cycle. And now it's nicely back at the lows, actually, right? Where it find a lot of support here. So I feel like, man, if you want to buy it somewhere, then this is the place, right? It kind of depends, like, hey, where could it go? And this video is not to make any price predictions or anything, but you could say, like, yeah, it can go back to its cycle high, right? To be a little conservative. I think that once alt season hits and Bitcoin is still doing well, then yeah, these prices are going to be nothing anymore. But that's almost a 5x. It could also be that this is diminishing. We have a top here, we have a top here. Let's say the next stop is in end of the year, that it could be 38 cents. That's still a 3x, right? That's decent on such a coin, definitely, especially at these prices. And don't forget, if it gets lower, and we get there, and then you're already sitting at a 6x. Therefore, low prices are a gift, right? It's not something to be scared about. It's a gift. Unless you were already all in, yeah, you should have not done that. I'm not touching these kind of things right now, right? Like Domi or these real low caps. Like, oh, no. Let's wait really for the market to turn around. Same with Playable. I think that this thing has a lot of upside if the market recovers, if the momentum gets back, if they are still building. But there are a lot of ifs that have to come together at the right place, at the right time for this to really do well. And I just don't want to bet on that at this moment right now. So that's what I'm skipping. Maybe I'm gonna buy a little desync though. I think that desync is actually pretty cheap right now at around 15, 16 cents, right? If it goes back to its cycle high, like not too long ago, that's already a 3.5x from here. It's pretty good bad actually. Easy is holding up, surprisingly well given how low cap it is, but this is still too risky for me at this moment. GPU as well, it's nice, the AI, yada, but it's a little speculative. Traded Joe is something that I feel like, yeah, this is what I would buy as well if I would go a little riskier. Why? Because I also buy AVAX, so I believe in the AVAX ecosystem, right? If AVAX does well, Joe does well. It's the leading index on AVAX. It's a no-brainer. But this just goes down harder and it goes up harder. So therefore, Joe, right now at 20 cents, bro, it went all the way to 125 when the market was doing okay, right? That's a 6x from this point. Damn. And let's say the market takes one big fucking spanking, right? And it goes down another 50%. And I'm not saying it will, but it could happen. Or slightly less than that maybe, but maybe here, right? And it then goes back to cycle highs. Then you're already sitting at a 10x. Crazy. Not to mention if it goes into a full alt season when Bitcoin is recovering. Crazy, right? And I'm talking now more about 10x's than I was doing like a half year ago, right? But it's because it's more realistic right now because your entries are now lower, right? So you have a target, whatever it is, you have an entry is now lower. So there's more upside. So that, yeah. um, about a little Prime already. I thought that just Prime at this level was a steal, and it bounced from that point so far. But yeah, what the hell is this, right? So let's wait to see what it does. I mean, let's be fair, it is a falling knife right now, and I'm aware of that. So I bought a little bit, but I didn't want to go. Let's say that it does bounce right here. I don't want to let this dip be for nothing, basically. Prime is a good project. There's a strong community. The coin was an outperformer, and back to cycle highs is already a 6x from this point, right? So beautiful. Same for Ronin. Ronin is looking fantastic at 90 cents. And this is also relative, maybe a little lower risk as this is a layer one, which is lower risk than most things. Plus it's gaming. So you also have exposure to something where the money is going to flow later, right? It's not the hype right now, but it's obvious, of course, to me at least, that that will be the thing in the future. And if that's going to be in a month, 2 months, half a year, next cycle, I don't know. Already having exposure looks pretty good to me. CeDeFi, I looked at this chart this morning and I was like, wow, man, beautiful. This is the biggest no-brainer for me out there. It's a little higher risk, of course, than a AVAX. But like I said earlier, if the market goes up, then people want to gamble, right? They have money. They want to get into new projects, and they do that through launchpads. We all know that the market is going to go up from like that prices eventually will be higher than this, right? Even if you think that this is now a bear market for some reason, markets go up and down. And we're now going down, so you might feel, oh, it will go down forever, but let's be realistic. That's not how it works, right? So therefore, CeDeFi is the biggest no-brainer for me. Because like I said, in the upwards market, people want to get into launchpads. It's not for no reason that this coin from the bottom to the top did a 10x, right? It outperformed the market. While this was not a meme coin or a very risky play or whatever, it's just an easy play. Really obvious and easy play. And we're fucking almost there again, dude. Crazy. I love it, man. If I would buy meme coin, then maybe a little SPX, but I don't know. Like, look, it didn't get wrecked as hard as other meme coins. That's the only reason that I feel like, okay, this might be a good one. There might be something to this. But for now, look, that's the thing, right? You from this point can make a 270% gain with a meme coin to go back to cycle highs. But you can also make a 600% gain with CeDeFi to go back to cycle highs. Then you would choose CeDeFi any fucking moment over this one, right? So therefore, I'm not buying this because there is, at this moment, there are better plays to make. Super. This is like, it more depends on how low can this go. But to eventually buy this is so obvious, right? Super has this token is integrated in every big crypto game. Again, crypto gaming will be big, right? Like fucking like unbelievable. That hated rally is gonna be insane. So if that happens, Super is gonna fucking explode. And it already showed. Like, yeah, you were betting, like not you, but people were betting on all these risky meme coins, etc. Well, you didn't have to. You could have bought a utility coin in a niche that everybody is talking about that is dead, right? Gaming. And it did a 30x. Jesus. So yeah, how much confirmation do you want, man? And yeah, wild is also, if we talk about gaming and we want to go a little riskier because it's more, an individual metaverse game thing, this is beautiful. While the world is way too cheap compared to the quality, But that's it's normal, right? Market going down, no gaming hype right now, yada yada yada. So token down, but it doesn't make the project worse. It's just that the price is cheaper, right? If you go to the store and you can buy some milk for $5 or $2, you rather go with the $2 milk probably, right? And that's kind of how you have to take a look at these kind of things. So yeah, I mean, while the world going back to the cycle highs is 6x from here, right? And every single time it touched this support in the last 3 years, it did like a 3.5x. It did a 3.5x. It did a 6.5x. It did a 5x. And now there again. So, you could of course say to yourself like, no, but now it's going down. Right? Okay, you can try to, but I don't know. So this is what I'm looking at right now. Again, it's a little a defensive portfolio, right? Except the last couple coins that I called. But I think that that's necessary right now. Again, I think that altcoins have bottomed on the Bitcoin pair. I could be wrong, but I think they have bottomed. But it doesn't really matter if Bitcoin goes to like 70K. That could still happen. Yeah, that's going down another 10% then, right? Then altcoins, go down 20% or so. So yeah, if you can get some of these coins 20% cheaper, right? Such as Wild, for example, if you can get it at 15 cents, yeah, that's better than 20. So it's more return. So I want to wrap it up right here, guys. This is how I'm looking at the market right now. Let me know what are you buying. If you are not buying because you have no money, let me know as well. But if you don't want to buy because you don't want to buy, then seek therapy. So let me know down in the comments, guys. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn the bell notification on, and I'll see you in the next one.